ICCCon. We are back. I'm Matt with ECP. I am here with actor, producer, and musician Steven Constantino. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
And it's great to be here. As you know, we had quite a fiasco for the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was here last year.
Yeah.
Through it all, but it's nice to see everybody out and optimistic and having a good time.
Oh yeah, back in the Star Wars realm, man. If you haven't known, this man portrays the Gamorrean Guard on the Jabba the Hutt sail barge. Pretty much formed that costume around you, right? What's the story behind?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I was actually in a band with Corey D. Williams, and we rehearsed when he lived with Billy D., his dad back then, and Billy was very supportive, and we were trying to get a development deal back then, which you do like 3 songs, and if they like it, they'll give you a full-on deal. And we were, on a good run. And Billy comes in and says to Corey, "Could you stand in for me?" And he said, "Where? Yuma?" He said, "Really? It's like 120 degrees, and plus we're in the middle of music." So Billy invited me to come along to play music, not to be in the movie.
Yeah.
So I was invited with all the amenities, being with Billy, which was very grateful. And then we get out there, and 45 minutes into the desert, 12-hour days, I get, it's beautiful to be there and meet everyone. It's extraordinary, but I get restless. I want to help.
Yeah.
So the producer had taken Billy out one night, Howard Kassenjian, and we were invited to go along. And I said, humbly, "Can I work? I'll work for free." And he said, "Yes, come in tomorrow. We'll have something for you." So we show up, and they made Gloria the Klaatu.
Yeah.
And they made me the Gamorrean Guard. And I put the outfit on, and I followed the footsteps, and I fight with Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
I didn't go in the pit, though. He sliced me in half in the middle. And then Billy D. had taken a picture of Corey and I with the mask off, and it was put in the archives for probably 25 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't, I knew how special it was, but I didn't speak about it much.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my friends later on, I found out what nerds they were when they found out. What? You didn't tell me? But it wasn't a thing then. There wasn't much cons or, And then when the picture came out, actually came out because of the guys in England got in touch and said, "Do you sign?" I said, "Sign what?" They said, "Autographs. Can we send you some items?" And they sent me a box of 60 items.
And there it was.
And I said, "Okay," with the check,
Yeah.
And being a musician, that's always good to have money coming from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because you barely get it in music,
Yeah.
It's up and down. And so I signed them, and they went online, and everyone said, "You got killed by Luke Skywalker on the barge." I said, "Well, to me, the stuntman did all the work." They said, "No, but we know who you are now, and you're the man behind the mask." And that short little scene,
And there you are forever.
There forever.
The Gamorrean Guard.
And it hasn't stopped since.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, now Mandalorian and Boba Fett is showing the future of the character.
Yeah.
So
And now you get to understand the Gamorrean Guard so much more.
Yeah, I thought that was the backstory.
Yeah.
Because you heard that he had to fight to the death or survive to be with Jabba. And then when I first saw Mandalorian, like MMA fight, I said, "Oh, that must have been younger. That must have been thin and in shape." And we went to Jabba, and the gluttony came in, obviously. But no, it's the opposite now. I'm learning, and I do love what they're doing with the franchise now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because it's a wide open, no scrutiny. And
just looking for work, just so you didn't have to, to fill that time, and now you're forever in the universe.
And all the toys that come out, the Funkos and all that stuff, is just even with the new stuff, because they said, "Oh, you could sign this because you're the OG." So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Well, I wanna talk a little bit more about your music life.
Yes.
So you had this band. How many bands have you had from that period to now?
Oh, back then. Well, I wasn't a big hip hop guy. I kind of understand now the old school. I love it. But being from the East Coast, where it started, I was more into rock and jazz. And when I moved to L.A., I met Brett Mazer, who was the mastered, beat maker, like Kanye. He did Bell Biv DeVoe, Poison, that kind of groove. And he worked at Scotty Brothers. Well, we did some projects, and then I wound up going to Scotty Brothers, and he was in-house there. And we wound up doing Black Eyed Peas when they started, before Fergie. He got the first demo signed. And then Bell Bev DeVoe, and then New Edition were making a big comeback, and they were all platinum artists at that point. And I played on that record, You Don't Have to Worry, but it never got released because of stuff going on. They played it in the biop on them in the background. And then Mary J. Blige did a version, and Brett did a version. We had Little Kim on it, and I still have the tracks, but it's not mixed.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guitar was really cool, and Brett always loved it, Brett Mazer. And then when he started Crazy Town, he said, I'm going to take the guitar up there and put it on Revolving Door. So that guitar lives in 2 different songs, which a lot of people don't know because the other one never got released.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. And then, so I did a lot of that as an artist and still writing. And then Billy Worth from Lost Boys, Death by Stereo. Yeah. We had met, and it was just a kindred spirits, and we wrote a lot of stuff together that I'm kind of working out now even.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because it was better than we thought back then.
Yeah.
We were called the Cronies, and we're going to sign to Maverick, Madonna's label, with Guy Siri. And I listened to the demos now, and they're really, we were never happy, but now I say, wow, they were really something else. But at this point now I have my own recording studio, so I could mix and master at home. Yeah. Because digital and analog are fused finally.
And this is Gomorian Sound,
Gomorian
right?
Sound. I'm going to do a retrospective now because I don't know how to put it out there because I'm doing new stuff, but I feel like the timeline of the old stuff would be nice. Just tell a whole story.
Yeah. And being a producer this long, how much has the recording scene changed, and you had to relearn as you go the technology side of it? Like, has it gotten easier, or is it getting harder?
A lot easier, but it's gone full circle. When I was 30 years old, I went to engineering school because I really wanted to know the lingo. Very fortunate again. I don't know how I'm lucky because I never won the lottery or anything, but as far as that stuff, my teacher was Malcolm Cecil. Yeah. And I don't know if you know Malcolm, he just passed. He was with the BBC, and he designed Tonto. You know about Tonto, anybody? Mm-mm. Tonto's the first sequencing, ARP, ARP, and Moog in one big room. It's in a museum now. And it took like 6 men to man this thing. It's before MIDI or USB, where everything talks to each other. So they manned this thing, and they made this album, Tonto's Evolving Headband, which on there you'll hear every sound ever made on records at that point. And so then I had an indelible education with him, which I still use. But back then we were aligning machines, 2-inch tape, cutting, but rooms had vibes, and the music made in them together had vibe. Yeah. Like you could not create. You hear it now in the records. And so in any case, Stevie Wonder comes one day to them and says, how do I get these sounds? And they go on and produce all Stevie Wonders. Oh, man. And I met his partner, Robert Margolef, back then. And Robert just produced my last EP. You guys probably heard.
I have.
From last year. Yeah. And that learning curve taught me a lot making albums at home. And what we did is digital, analog, we always want that sound, being a guitarist as well, as you guys know. And then it went digital, and we said, we have so much now, and we just piled it on. And then we figured out now to sum it, now I go through summing analog, and as if I'm going to an API board. That's how we think for cohesiveness. So we went full circle, because I work with a lot of people that I learn from, too. I always want better people. So, we're coming at a place now where the editing part is great, easy. Yeah. And the sound part, we're getting really close by putting it back in and looking at like an analog studio in a virtual world.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. And just, from the 90s to now, there's just been such a jump in like plug and play towards, like you said, you were cutting tape, you're putting it together. Yeah. You're having to do the mono sound, you're having to get the right mics and all that. So it's, I can tell, especially from someone who's had to learn as it go. And you're a musician, so you're your own worst critic, so it's got to sound right too,
mixing and mastering is an art form within itself. It took me a good 2 years to hear it like that and mix it like that. Mixing albums is a whole different thing from being an engineer. I mean, most guitarists become engineers because they have all these effects. As you learn, you have to learn this stuff, and it builds up to that,
So do you have a website?
Yes. StephenCostantino.org.
And you can, if future shows and merchandise, stuff like that?
Yeah, merchandise on there. And I post a lot on all the social media as well.
Yeah.
As I'm doing shows, I have a lot of shows coming up this year. Actually, you know, kind of canceled and came back.
Yeah.
But I don't put them up all at once because I think it gets confusing, and a lot of people put them all up. So I'll do 2 every month that's coming up, and so I'm traveling a lot lately.
And he's playing music here
Tomorrow evening,
tomorrow night. So
7 to 9.
you can hear him play. You can hear the band play. It's really good. We heard him last year. Go to his website. Say it again.
StephenConstantino.org. And tomorrow, officially, the Con Man. It's the birth of the Con Man. And Jeffrey is going to sing with us.
Oh, that's amazing.
Half of Mize, you know, Lee, and those guys they play with. So we put it together, and it's good that we can play at night, 7 to 9, after the show.
Yeah. And see, that's just one more thing that is creating this entire atmosphere of fandom. It's music. It's books. It's this. It says it's so much. You can just come. You don't have to come here to shop. You can come here and find something fun to do, or listen to something great, or hear good stories, or just grow your nerd family. That's what this con was for, and it was created for. And we encourage you to come down. ICC Con. It's at the Sheraton Music City Hotel. It's in Nashville. It's near the airport. You can go to all the social medias and you can find the information. You can find the schedules of who's coming. Visit Stephen Constantino's booth. It's out front. He's got a lot of amazing stuff. He's got a lot of amazing stories. He's a great guy, great musician.
Thank you.
Really nice guy. Come visit him out front. We are at the ICC Con, and we'll see you this weekend.
Thank you so much.
This summer, saddle up in Smashville as the Music City hosts the hottest party of the summer, WWE SummerSlam Nashville. For the first time ever at Nissan Stadium, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, a whole lot of kick-ass. WWE SummerSlam, Saturday, July 30th. Tickets on sale now.